For the final time, Sum 41, the Grammy-nominated Canadian group, they're heading out on tour and just released their final album.
It's a huge surprise, and I'm just like grateful for it all. It's really exciting.
Deryck Whibley is still taking in the overwhelmingly positive response to their final album, Heaven and Hell, and their final tour, selling tickets so fast they've had to add multiple second shows in cities. For Whibley, it was an emotional decision to decide this would be the final album and tour after 27 years together.
Realization of I think this is probably the best move for me to make. I only talked to a couple people. One of them was my manager. One of them was from a band, Fat Mike from the band No Effects. And I just kind of expressed some of my feelings. And this was in a stage where I was like, I wasn't fully ready to admit that I was ready to move on. I was kind of just talking about how I was feeling, and I hadn't even admitted to myself that I was allowed to have those feelings, because I felt guilty for a long time of thinking, would I ever do something else outside of Sum 41?
For almost 3 decades, this group has entertained audiences around the world with their music and performances. They are still friends, and he says they will still continue to be friends after the tour is over. A tour, he says, that unlike many groups, they were able to call it quits on their own terms and as popular as ever.
People would write us off a little bit early in our career, as like a flash in the pan, like every new band. It's always like the new artist thing, right? You'll be gone next year kind of thing. But I always used to think, we'll be around as long as we say we're around. Nobody else is going to write our own story. And then here we are, almost 30 years later, and we are writing our story.
The final date of their tour will be right here at Scotiabank Arena next January. Tickets sold out so fast they had to add a second show. For City News, I'm Lindsay Dunn.